Hi guys, I'm Matt Vollen. I am a multimedia designer at Tag Communications, and I'm going to show you a fun Halloween Photoshop tutorial. Today we're going to do a fun Halloween Photoshop tutorial, so if you'd like to follow along, just download the 2 free images from the description, and let's begin. Alright guys, so today we are going to make this image in Photoshop by combining 2 different images to create a ghost in an abandoned hallway. So first we're going to open up the background image in Photoshop. Next we're going to desaturate this image so it makes it all black and white. So what we're going to do is going to go over to the background layer and right click and duplicate layer, and you can change this layer name to black and white. Then we are going to go up to image, adjustments, and then down to desaturate. You can also use the key commands Control-Shift-U. And then we're going to change the opacity down to 75% to let a little bit of the color of the background come through. Next, we're going to go up to Layer and click on New Adjustment Layer and click on Levels. And you can name this layer Levels. And over in the Properties panel, you can just change the mid-tone down to 0.50 just to help it get a little darker. And we're going to do the same thing again, go back to Layer, New Adjustment Layer, and this time click on Exposure. We can name this layer Exposure. And then over again in the Properties panel, we can click on Exposure and take that down to -1. Again, that just helps the background get a little darker and more of the mood that we want for the ghost image. Next, we can open our person image in Photoshop. Again, we're going to desaturate this photo, so you can either go back up again to Image, Adjustments, and Desaturate. Next, choosing whatever selection tool that you would like. I usually choose the polygonal lasso tool and hit Select and Mask, and then again you can hit Select Subject. This will just crop out the background of the image, and I like to go in just to make sure all the background is completely out from the subject. So from here, you just hit OK, and you can go ahead and hit Command-C to copy this layer into your background layer, and then hit Command-V to paste. Once you do that, you go ahead and scale your ghost to whatever correct size you think it should be on the background image. So that looks about good. Go ahead and name this layer Ghost. You're going to go up to Layer and down to Smart Objects and convert this to a smart object. This will be able to let us edit it and add different effects to each layer. So once you do that, you can go ahead and duplicate this layer and then name this layer Glow. Once you do that, you can go down to your ghost layer and change the opacity of this one to 50%. And then once you go do that, you can go back to your glow layer, and down at the bottom of your layers panel, you can use this FX button to add an effect, and we're going to choose Outer Glow. So we're going to add these properties to this layer style. The opacity and noise is going to help change the edge of the glow. I like to add the noise to 100% so it's not quite as hard of an effect. We're going to change this blue to a light blue, and you go ahead and change that color. And then the elements, this is just going to help the size of how far it goes out of the glow. So you can change that to 25 for both, and then you can leave the quality properties alone. Once you have that, you can hit OK. Once you do that, you can hit the glow layer and change the opacity down to 25%. Next, you can select both the glow and ghost layers, go up to Layer and New, and Group from Layers. This will just group both of these layers together under one folder, and you can name this layer Effects. Next, we're going to go back up to Layer and add New Fill Layer and Solid Color. This will change the color of the ghost, so you can change this layer name to color, and make sure you click on the use previous layer to create clipping mask. This will make sure that the color just goes inside the ghost figure and not the background. So now we can choose the color picker for our ghost. We're gonna change the color to this color. And then go ahead and click OK. And then over in the layers panel, you can choose the blend mode from normal to overlay. This will give it an opacity so you can see the actual image of the figure. Once you have that, you can go ahead down to the bottom of layers and click on a new layer and name this one Eyes. Once you have that, you can go ahead and choose your brush tool or just click B on your keypad. We're gonna make the size of the brush 15 pixels or whatever size that will fit correctly to the image that you are choosing. And then make sure that the foreground is selected, and I'm going to choose yellow for the eyes, but you can choose whatever color you would like. So you can go ahead and click OK, and then we're gonna zoom in on the figure and just click once for each eye. And then once you have that, you can change the opacity just down to 75% to help it look a little more like the rest of the figure. And there you have it. We have the ghost in the abandoned hallway. Alright guys, thanks for following along. Hopefully you learned a little something new, and make sure to keep a lookout for more tips and tricks from the experts at TAG.